What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. I am DJ, aka Token Black Guy. Here for the first time, hit that like button, subscribe button. So I went and saw the Civil War by Alex Garland movie over the weekend. Just want to give my quick thoughts and just kind of review and quick overview of the movie. And my what I thought of the movie. This movie one of my most anticipated movies of this year. I've seen that trailer; it really intrigued me. I've always enjoyed these what if, near future apocalyptic scenario kind of things, and with the current political climate we've had in the past, few years, there's been a lot of talk of this happening in this country, and it was kind of just an interesting uh take on where things could maybe potential if it went down, how it would happen. So I will say, first of all, um, this movie, I enjoyed the movie. I really did enjoy the movie. There's a lot of things that I really enjoyed about it. Some things that I didn't like about it, but overall, for the most part, I really enjoyed this movie. And it's been interesting seeing people's take on the movie because I know a lot of people are expecting this to be like a military. You're going to see all the battles and skirmishes in major cities and everything, in the United States Civil War, but that's not what this movie is. The whole time the Civil War is in the background, but we're focusing on these war photographers. Lee, played by Christian Dunst, Joel, who's a reporter, and Sammy, a elder a veteran in the game, and the young gun that they take on Jesse are the four characters we follow through this. And but you're viewing the the situation, we'll call it, through their eyes, not through the military. I will say the third act of the movie is the most exciting part of the movie. That's where all the action is. But it's an interesting commentary on social politics. And I know a lot of in the media has been attacked, by certain sides on both sides. So it's kind of a interesting take on it. And there's a line where Christian Dunst's character Lee, she talks about how all her because she's like the main photographer. She's had these Pulitzer winning pictures and everything with every major conflict that happened. And she was like, I thought my pictures were a warning, but now I'm taking them here in our country, which was a pretty powerful thing. This movie has some very intense scenes where you're literally like holding your breath, and it makes you think, man, what would I do in those situations? I'm not gonna do much spoilers and everything, but we all know the one scene from the trailer where the guy's like, with the red glasses, which is actually Kristen Dunst's husband, by the way. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's like, "What kind of Americans are you?" And that whole scene takes on a whole new, body when you watch it, entirely. It's probably the best scene in the whole movie, honestly, and it's intense. And there's a lot of, I will say, Al Garn did a good job of, you never really. So I will say my one kind of nitpick complaint is I wish he would have started the movie off with some kind of like newscast or explanation of how we got to where we are, because you never really get that, and we never know who's right, who's wrong. It's just like always back, it's kind of open for interpretation. They say certain things that make you think, well, are they referring to this group or that person? But they're not really, saying it. And you really don't know, because I think that it breaks down. I'll put a map up of how it's like what was it? I have the map right here. It's the Civil War map. I just pulled it up. Here we go. The Western First Forces, which are Texas and California, which again, I know people are like, oh, they would never get along. But if you think about it, economically wise, they make sense to align because they both could basically be their own country because they have the resources and economy to do that. So if they're opposing, have the same ideology, they can form an alliance. So I know people are like, oh, they'll never get along because one's more a red state, one's more a blue state, but you never know. And then you have the Florida alliance, which I found funny because they did mention that Florida tried to take over the Carolinas, but did not succeed. Which I'm in South Carolina, so I was like, okay, that's where we stand. But then you have the Loyalist states, which is basically that runs from all the way from Maine across the Midwest to Nevada and in New Mexico and the Carolinas, and that's what DC is. And then you have the New People's Army, and that's like the Northwestern Montana, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, all the way over to Minnesota. So the country's split into three separate things, which I always said if we do go to a civil war, it's not going to be like North versus South. It's going to be fractures of different pockets, which makes more sense. But throughout the movie, we kind of see the certain little skirmishes battles. Like there's one scene where you have like these guys in civilian clothes fighting the military guys, which is kind of like certain militias pick up and stuff and everything. We see there's one scene that I really love. People haven't talked about it much. There's a scene where they come up on this like golf course, and these two they're pinned down by a sniper, and it's at some mansion or whatever golf resort, and you see a spotter and a sniper, and the spotter's got like the neon hair and pink fingernails and stuff, and Joel was like, "What's who you guys with? What side are you? Western Forces? Or are you what are you?" And they're like, "We're just here trying not to get killed," And the whole time he's like, you're trying to figure out who they are, but you never find out what side they're on. And I like that because like that was the most true military banter I've ever seen. He's like, look, are you retarded? And he asks the girl, like, what do you see? He's like, a guy shooting at y'all shooting back, and like exactly, and like they're just trying not to get killed, and that that's what it boils down to when you're a soldier or in the military. It's just at that point, politics, ideologies, go out the window. You're just trying to not get killed by the other guy. That's what it comes down to. But I digress. But there's a lot of scenes where, like, on the more just regular people, like they roll up on a gas station, and they got these guys hung up and everything, torturing them. And, it just is a very good movie. And it's very, intense when you see it at home. You see, it's certain things like when they got to Washington D.C. and seeing certain monuments get attacked and everything. It was pretty cool. I mean, not cool, but it's just like wow. And there's one scene where I'm going to spoil this a little bit, where the one girl falls into a pit of dead bodies, and it was the guy that was with the the glasses and everything. And it's kind of symbolism because like you see black, white, Asian people all down in that pit, and he's actually like sprinkling white lie on them. So it's just like, and she's laying, and it was kind of a symbolism thing and everything. But I digress. But overall, the movie was good. Like I said, the best quality about this movie was the freaking sound design. Oh my god! Listen, when they shot guns, it made you jump. Like it was if you were ever in the military or done combat training or any kind of stuff like that, you will appreciate this movie with the sound design because it sounds just like it. I mean, there were scenes where I was kind of flinching a little bit with the gunfire, and it's not just that constant, like, it sounds like someone shooting a gun right next to you. Like, and I don't know how they did it. They must have had real guns, like, the record and everything from the battles and everything. The sound design is so good, and not just the loud sounds. When there's certain scenes where there's no sound, that makes it even more intense. So, but that's just my quick review of the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. It has a lot of good social and political stuff in it, but not where it's pointing a finger at either side. It's basically this is what can happen. We need to get our shit together because things go bad. And they don't preach to you anything because you never know why we got here or who did what. All we know is that the president, he's in his third term. He's kind of being a dictator. And he has dissolved the FBI. And he has done airstrikes on civilian. And they mentioned something called a Tifa massacre. So that was earlier before this. So it's kind of a buildup. So it's a weird thing. And I there's one line I appreciated there, and the guy's like, Because the whole thing is that the Western first are going to DC and their plan is to kill the president. That's what comes down to. And they're talking about dictators stuff, and they're all in the same, end up crying and cowering like little cowards at the end, and that's what happens. So I recommend going to see this movie. If I had to get a rating, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I will probably watch it again when it comes out on streaming. I definitely want to check it out again. And I've been diving into all the breakdowns and everything. I'll probably do a breakdown after this. We'll go through a breakdown and see all the stuff that we missed and everything. That'll be a good spoiler one we'll go through. But that's just my general thoughts on the movie. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend going and see it if you're, especially if you're in the States, go check it out because we might want to pay attention if you ask me. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the movie Civil War. Really enjoyed it. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments below what you think. What are some of your best scenes? What did you like? What part of the country are you from? Like, what aligns with your state being? Like I said, I'm in the Carolinas, so we're part of the Loyalists, even though Florida tried to invade us. So it's funny. But yeah, till next time, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.